The conflict in Ukraine has lasted for more than 2 years since February 2022, with heavy artillery and drones playing a central role, while air forces have only played a secondary role due to Ukraine's limited aircraft and Russia's inability to fully control the skies. However, since 2024, Russia's air force has made a strong return, particularly in frontline areas. Many experts believe that Moscow is increasingly using fighter jets to drop guided bombs, paving the way for ground forces to act. After the Soviet Union dissolved into 15 republics in December 1991, the Soviet Air Force, VVS, was divided among the newly independent states. Russia received the largest share, including around 40% of the aircraft from the most modern types and 65% of the personnel. At the same time, key commands such as long-range aviation, military transport, and Soviet frontline aviation were restructured, leading to the establishment of the Russian Air Force Command in October 2004. During the restructuring process, Russia disbanded many important regiments, such as the 200th and 444th Bomber Regiments equipped with the Tu-22M3, along with the 28th, 195th, 790th, and 941st Fighter Regiments, which used Su-24s. However, the 1990s were a difficult period as Russia lacked the resources to train pilots, with Russian pilots' flight hours amounting to only 10% of those in the US. It wasn't until 2007 that Russian pilot training time significantly improved, contributing to the strengthening of the National Air Force. Russia's defense budget has increased significantly, with arms export revenues reaching over $7 billion annually, although still far behind the U.S., which stands at $23.3 billion. In addition to being one of the world's leading arms exporters, Russia also had to import technology from abroad in the early years following the collapse of the Soviet Union to bridge the technological gap with the West. Russia established partnerships with French companies such as Thales and Safran to improve aviation technology and imported some electronic equipment from international suppliers due to the slow pace of domestic production. These devices were mainly used for export fighter jets, temporarily addressing the shortage of spare parts. Despite facing many challenges in the early stages of development, the Russian Air Force inherited a solid foundation from the Soviet era. While there were difficulties in controlling the skies during the early stages of conflict, Russia's air power remains a formidable force today thanks to continuous improvements and investment. The situation is changing as Russia improves its air force tactics, increasing the use of combat aircraft near the front lines to support ground troops. Since mid-2023, Russia has equipped UMK navigation systems on Fab 500 and Fab 1500 gravity bombs, transforming them into precision strike weapons. With a range of 50 to 70 kilometers, these bombs can hit targets with an accuracy of just a few meters. When the Fab 1500 hits its target, it can create a crater 15 meters wide and destroy all fortifications within a 500-meter radius. The Russian Ministry of Defense is also ramping up mass production of Fab 3000 bombs and doubling the output of Fab 1500. Defense factories are operating around the clock, increasing wages and hiring more staff to meet production demands. In addition, wages for workers at Russian defense factories have increased by an average of 20%. Both the Fab 3000 and similar bomb models, although developed during the Soviet era, remain some of the most powerful aerial weapons today. These 3-ton bombs, containing 1,400 kilograms of explosives, are designed to destroy fortified structures such as bunkers and industrial facilities. When dropped from an altitude of 12 kilometers, they can reach speeds of 1,200 kilometers per hour. Despite their limited range, Fab bombs have several advantages over missiles, such as shorter flight time, a smaller radar cross-section, flexible movement, and the absence of a heat signature, making them difficult for Ukraine to intercept. As of mid-2023, Russia is believed to have used around 700 glide bombs in operations in Ukraine. The Russian military believes these bombs effectively neutralize targets and provide an advantage on the battlefield. On the Ukrainian side, soldiers have expressed that Russian bombings are horrifying, making it impossible to hold their defensive lines, let alone advance. However, the tactic of dropping bombs near the front lines carries risks, as Russia's multi-million-dollar combat aircraft become easy targets. Recently, Ukraine has deployed modern air defense systems provided by the West, such as Patriot and NASAMS, with a range of up to 160 kilometers, covering the entire front line. In March 2024, Ukraine claimed to have shot down 7 Su-34 fighter bombers and a long-range reconnaissance aircraft, the A-50, near the eastern front line. The A-50, similar to the US E-3, has the ability to control 10 fighter jets simultaneously, with a range of 1,000 kilometers and the capability to fly for 4 hours continuously. The A-50 usually flies behind the front lines to detect enemy aircraft and missiles, helping Russia monitor Ukrainian air forces and respond in real time to missile and UAV attacks. According to the open-source analysis site Oryx, Russia has lost 2 Su-34s, and British military intelligence confirmed this as a significant loss for the Russian Air Force. Facing these challenges, since late 2023, Moscow has shifted its tactics, focusing on using glide bombs and guided munitions, dropped from aircraft at a safe distance, but still able to strike deep into the front lines. These bombs, carrying hundreds of kilograms of explosives, can penetrate Ukraine's fortified bunkers without the need for aircraft to come too close. However, to maximize effectiveness, Russia still risks bringing aircraft closer to the front lines, exposing them to the threat of being shot down by Ukraine's air defense systems. The Russian Air Force seems to be accepting the increasing rate of losses in order to maintain airstrikes in support of operations in eastern Ukraine, especially at strategic points like Avdiivka, where air power plays a crucial role in controlling the battlefield. The return of the Russian Air Force to the front lines to carry out bombings plays a crucial role in the current strategy, especially as their missile reserves are depleting following heavy airstrikes on Ukraine. Additionally, Russia's dominance at sea is diminishing due to long-range missile strikes from Ukraine's Storm Shadow, making it more difficult to launch attacks from the Black Sea. However, Russia has a significant advantage with its massive stockpile of bombs from the Soviet era. To overcome the limited range of glide bombs, which force aircraft to move into dangerous zones, Russia is testing a new module, the UMP-D-30, equipped with an engine and based on the Fab-250 bomb. This module costs around $50,000 compared to the Caliber cruise missile, which costs up to $1 million. Although the Caliber has a longer range, 1,500 kilometers, guided bombs can be deployed at a lower cost within a range of less than 150 kilometers. Russia has also improved its seek and destroy capabilities against Ukraine's air defense systems, a tactic combining quick target acquisition, location, and elimination. Recently, they have released several videos of swift attacks on Ukraine's S-300 and NASAMS systems, including a UAV detection and strike on a NASAMS complex in Zaporizhia province on March 22, 2024. Just minutes after detection, the Kh-35 Bal-E anti-ship missile completely destroyed the launcher and command post of the NASAMS system. A few days later, Russia released a video showing a precise strike using an Iskander ballistic missile on a Patriot air defense system in Donetsk as it was setting up a new position. Russia has significantly improved its seek and destroy capabilities by deploying an increasing number of modern reconnaissance UAVs, which quickly gather and relay detailed data to artillery units and attack UAVs. Senior Russian military leaders appear to have given more autonomy to frontline commanders, allowing them to order strikes as soon as targets are detected, helping to thwart attacks and restrict Ukraine's freedom of movement near the front lines. Russian missiles have become increasingly effective, as demonstrated by the hypersonic Kinzhal missile strike on the SBU intelligence headquarters in Kyiv. The missile traveled 580 kilometers in just 3 minutes, reaching a speed of Mach 9, 11,600 kilometers per hour. This makes it difficult for Ukraine's air defense systems to respond in time. Russia often uses UAVs and missiles from domestic bases to create diversions, while the Kinzhal missile, with its hypersonic speed and ability to be launched from various platforms, easily penetrates defense systems, posing a significant threat to Ukraine's key positions. The Ukrainian military has even admitted that Russia has repeatedly struck with hypersonic Kinzhal missiles. The situation on the battlefield is increasingly tense, with no signs of de-escalation. The Russian Air Force is working hard to strengthen its presence on the front lines, while President Vladimir Putin has also emphasized the goal of establishing a security buffer zone in Ukraine, including the city of Kharkiv, to prevent cross border attacks. As Ukraine faces difficulties due to a shortage of weapon systems and its defense industry being damaged, can the Russian Air Force seize this opportunity to gain absolute air superiority? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Have a great day.